It's the Bud Light Super Bowl send-off with Levack Goz on the team.
Yeah! All right, we are live at O'Toole's getting somebody qualified for a trip or two to Houston for Super Bowl 51. The Bills are going to play the Seahawks on Monday, so we go out to our good friend Jessamyh McIntyre from 710 ESPN Seattle. Jessamyh, the first thing that I've seen this week that got me really excited about gossip in the NFL is that Marshawn Lynch, decked out in Seahawks gear, was in the locker room. Can I start the rumor that he's coming back?
Oh, that rumor has already been started and quashed here in Seattle. So I'm sorry, you're a little late to the party. It was fun to think about it, but he actually was here to attend Ricardo Lockett's event. He had a charity event, and Marshawn and Ricardo are very tight, and he came to support that. But he did look really, really good.
So if it's not going to be Marshawn, how do you fix this running game? There's like some toughness missing from this team without him back there.
There certainly is, and Thomas Rawls is really what's missing when it comes to that, because he's the type of runner who will take on contact. He doesn't want to run through a hole. He wants to run through a player. Now, it's not fair to compare him or anyone else to Marshawn Lynch, but he does bring that toughness element, and you see a little bit of something different when it comes to Christian Michael, who tends to run out of bounds sometimes where you think there might have been a little bit more green for him to get there, and doesn't take on contact the way Thomas Rawls does. Now, he's done a pretty decent job, and he's had some bright spots in some games, but certainly no one's going to replace Marshawn Lynch, but Thomas Rawls getting healthy is the most important thing for the run game.
And speaking about getting healthy, the quarterback position, Russell Wilson, it just seems all year long he hasn't been 100%. Is he ever going to get back to 100% this season?
It's hard to think he would, considering that, they had the early bye week, which did come at a good time heading into that Jets game because he was banged up already. But Pete Carroll, made kind of an admission you didn't expect from him that he usually doesn't make in his press conference just a little while ago, said that, it's a concern every week that they actually have to think about sitting Russell Wilson so he can get some rest. I don't think they will, but it's the first time Pete has alluded to the fact that, every week they're thinking about this.
Jessamyh McIntyre from 710 ESPN in Seattle with us right here on 104.5 of the team, ESPN Radio. So when you look at Percy Harvin returning to the Bills, he was you kind of just said it all right there. They obviously need weapons. Do you see anything left in him that makes you think he's still a weapon? Anything like he was in his Seattle days?
Well, I haven't been out there, and Rex Ryan did say that he didn't really do much in practice. I will say a rested and healthy Percy Harvin should be a concern for any opponent. I don't know that he did much with Buffalo when he was still there that would strike fear into my heart particularly, but he is one of the most gifted talents I've ever seen on a football field. So anything's possible, and I think that the Seahawks are adequately preparing for him.
Percy Harvin overall is a former Seattle Seahawk. Have his former teammates been asked the questions about how he was in the locker room? Because there's been reports that he was terrible as a teammate.
Yeah, there were plenty of those, and there were a few black eyes, a couple body slams that were reported about, and Rex Ryan today said that the team loves him. Maybe he had a different side of him in Buffalo, but Pete Carroll was asked about him and the trade today, and he was pretty curt. He said we needed to make a roster adjustment, and we made it.
Jessamyh McIntyre from 710 ESPN, and we're happy to have her here on 104.5 The Team.
So, Jessamyh, Levack and I can't sleep. We stay up. We're one of these guys.
He makes it sound like we sleep in the same room when he says it that way.
All right. You have your place. I have my apartment.
We're like Bert and Ernie, Jessamyh.
So I'm up on Saturday night watching Pac-12. I'm up watching Pac-12 football here on the East Coast. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching Washington State and Oregon State. And all of a sudden I see somebody running across the field at halftime trying to catch up to Mike Leach. Jessamyh, was that you making that spot appearance on ESPN too?
Yes, it's called the Leach Dash, and it's all this clip at which he travels is completely dependent on the score. 24-6 deficit at the half had me going full speed 40 time, but I did get my questions in and did get the answers. He's not exactly effervescent at the half because I'm literally the least important person to him, not to mention when you're down 24-6 to Oregon State. So I did, I had a big lunch that day. I had some sushi, so the carbs were really working for me, and I made it.
How are the fans feeling out there right now? Now, I know Washington State's the rival of Washington, but the big college football poll comes out, and the Huskies are sitting at 5, and Texas A&M is sitting at 4. What is the attitude right now of Pac-12 football fans? Is it just nothing but disrespect?
Yeah, I think there is some of that, but, I mean, if you do look at the non-conference schedule, it is kind of fair when you look at the teams that Texas A&M has played, and then you look at who the Huskies have played in their non-conference. Those were cupcakes. I do think that this will work itself out in the end, though, and the attitude is, okay, there's a little bit of disrespect. However, at the end, if Washington it does win out, there is this feeling that they will make the college football playoff.
Jessamyh McIntyre from 710 ESPN in Seattle with us. So the Bills will play your Seahawks on Monday. Russell Wilson's, 5-0 on Monday nights. Is there anything the Bills can do to put a blemish on that record?
Yeah, well, this is probably, I would say, a primetime game that causes the most concern for Seahawks fans out here. You've got an injured left tackle. You've got a not 100% quarterback. You have one of your best runners is still out. Michael Bennett just underwent surgery. Cam Chancellor's not practicing today. Taking advantage of what's not there on the field will be what they have to do. However, I can say that Cliff Averill, Defensive Player of the Week in the NFC, has stepped up tremendously. He is having an MVP-type season. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And the secondary is always always something to look out for. Kelsey McRae filling in admirably for Cam Chancellor the past couple of weeks since he's been out. I mean, they really can. They're going to have to start fast against the Seahawks, and that's something the Seahawks have struggled to do. They work from behind a lot, or they don't really get out to a fast start. Kind of each game's a microcosm for their season, too. They don't seem to get up too early, except for you look at the Atlanta game, and then you look at what happened in the third quarter. So there are some spots to take advantage of here, although CenturyLink, really tough place to play, and like I said, this team does step up in primetime games.
Now, Justin, usually on every Friday we have a Football Friday here, and we ask for a prediction for a score of the game. And when we had you on last time, it was Seahawks and Jets. And right now, of all of our Football Friday guests, you have had the closest, if not spot-on prediction last time, 27-17. So we're putting you back on the spot again. Let's see if you can defend your championship. Give us an exact score of Bills-Seahawks on Monday night.
Ooh, okay. You know what? I think the Seahawks offense is going to turn around. We thought it was going to happen against the Saints. It didn't. They've obviously been looking at a lot of film. I say they put up 31-24. Seahawks win.
Ooh, all right. Well, we'll be watching because, like Goz said, you're on point, and clearly we sleep in the same room like Bert and Ernie, so we'll have the same show on. Jessamyh, we appreciate you making time for us, and we look forward to you watching you chase down Leach as the rest of the Washington State season goes on.
Thank you. Fastest sideline reporter in the Pac-12, I'll tell you.
Have a great day. Thanks for making time for us.
Thanks, guys.